Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show. My name is Dave Juskow, and I am here with Mike Suarez every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to promote the wonderful Comedy Cellar, the Comedy Cellar, where comedy is king. 3,000 shows a night. I don't know what it is. I think it's 9 shows a night. There's 4 separate rooms. Oh, thank you, Anonymous. There's 4 separate rooms. You can see a show every night. If you can't get in one night, you can definitely get in another. Just make sure you make a reservation. I sit outside sometimes and sit there and watch idiots try and get in when you have to make a reservation. The thing sells out all the time. If you were there tonight, you'd be able to see Todd Barry at the Fat Black Pussycat. Oh, thank you, Marcy. Yeah, it was time for a change up there, right? That stupid Pink Floyd thing, that anti-Semitic Pink Floyd poster was there for a long time. Thank you, a week late. Hello, Catalina. I'm at work. I've seen that work. It's sad and lonely, so believe me, I understand. Oh, that's a liquor store? No, oh, right, because I saw there was anyway. Thank you. My brother worked at a liquor store down the shore. Yeah, well, working at a liquor store down the shore is different from work. I think Catalina's working in the stock room from the pictures I saw, but that's all right. That's what we all did when we were her age, so it's okay. I like Todd Barry, too. Also, later on, you can see Mark Norman. If you're, you're at the front selling, well, take a picture of that. That's hilarious. That's where the action is, you know. If you happen to be at Comedy Cellar Las Vegas, because we have a club there too, you'd be able to see Tom Rhodes. I haven't seen Tom Rhodes in a long, long time.
I love Tom Rhodes.
What'd you say, Mike?
I love Tom Rhodes.
Yeah, I know. We used to be friends a long time ago, and he was so cool. And he had his own show in Comedy Central. Then I think he went to Australia and became kind of if I remember correctly, I think he became like the David Letterman of Amsterdam. That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was huge in Amsterdam, and now he's back, and I guess ready. Yeah, huge, right? I'm not crazy. He had like a huge talk show in Amsterdam.
Yeah, he was Insomniac. They went over it.
Right. God, that was a long time ago. Yeah, that was in the 90s. Hi, Aunt Judy. Nice to see you. Everybody's wondering how you're feeling. You know, she told me she's feeling okay. I gave her a call last week. Tomorrow I start my new job at 7 a.m. You don't go to college anymore? I'm getting confused. I don't know how it works down there. But Marcy, so sorry about the Bengals. That was way lame. I didn't really care who won that game or either of the games, but both of those games were maybe the worst championships ever, because usually those are better than the Super Bowl. So that Eagles one was pathetic because, the 49ers, their quarterback got hurt, and then the other quarterback got hurt, and then they had nothing. I mean, they pretty much just gave up the game after the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing nothing. And then that other one, you don't want to say, I'm not a conspiracy theory person where I think, the NFL's up to something, but it certainly looked like they wanted Kansas City to win that game. I mean, that was really pathetic. Mike, did you see those? Like, they gave them 3 chances to go 3rd and 9.
Yeah.
It was weird, really weird. So that was very strange. And the Bengals really got ripped off. And they got ripped off the whole thing. That game probably shouldn't have been played at Kansas City, because if they had played that game during the season, that could have been very well in Cincinnati. So the Bengals got completely screwed by that guy that almost died. I obviously talk about that all the time. And yeah, that's the word in cinch. Of course it is, because it was ridiculous, Marcy. Ridiculous. And again, that late penalty, it was just awful, but that's nobody's fault but that guy, and can't really blame him. I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose. In fact, let's put up the results from last week. Oh. Mike finally lost one.
Lost 2.
Oh, he lost 2.
Yeah.
You said it was going to happen. I think I jinxed you. I'm sorry. It was just so exciting. Yeah. So I went 1-1.
The NFL was against me.
You what?
The NFL was conspiring against me.
Clearly, yes. Nick went 2-0, and so he will Well, actually, we're just one behind, so it depends what happens in the Super Bowl,
Hmm.
and then we'll be even maybe. You guys went 1-1, and just Mike went 0-2. Still can't even believe it. And we'll make our Super Bowl bets next week. What is she saying? And I'm gonna let you guys know as soon as I buy tickets. Oh, you're coming to the Garden for Billy Joel on July 14th. Alon and I are going again on March 26th. I don't know why. He plays the same show all the time. It's really annoying at this point. You're the drummer last night, and he was a joy. The old school drummer.
Oh, that's right. How did that go?
It went great. I mean, that first of all, he was really a delight. Liberty DeVito, I'm talking about, and when you're thinking and you're staring, this is like Richard Klein for me. From Three's Company. It's like I can't believe I'm talking to this guy that was there in the studio, and they're like, "What do you think about this?" It's called, Italian scenes from an Italian restaurant. I mean, it's just weird that somebody is there for the songs that we've all grown up on and loved, and it's really fascinating. So I don't even know whether we asked any of the right questions, because you really kind of want to delve in, but because there was animosity between the two, even though there's not now, we did kind of tiptoe around a little bit. So yeah, it's pretty cool, Catalina. It comes out in about 3 weeks, I guess. So everybody here in New York City is really, the views of Jessica do not reflect. Well, I know you guys put. What did I say this time?
That you found the show annoying.
Oh, Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, I just, we talk about this all the time, and it's just, we just want to play, one new song once in a while. It's frustrating. I mean, when I say new, we just mean like an old song, that something, a deep cut, which would be nice. That's all.
Anyway, you a deep cut if you keep talking about Billy Joel.
Apparently, I keep forgetting where we get our chat room from. Anyway, everybody's really upset here in New York City that it hasn't snowed yet, and it's just really pissing me off, because I'm upset about it too. I love when it snows, but it's like these weather people are like, "Oh, we're really upset about it." Like there's this woman who's on Saturdays on NBC, and she's been to for years, and I've seen her get upset when it snows. It's like, well, hopefully it'll stop soon. I mean, make up your goddamn mind. Do you like snow or don't you? And it's just bothering me, the two-facedness of it all. And I hate that. Just be consistent. Either you like snow or you don't. And they're like, yeah, we had some flurries today, but it's, everybody wants snow, and then they're going to get upset about it when it happens. I mean, there's nothing worse than 2 days after the snow. That's if you live in New York City, it's just gross. I mean, gross. But, it'll be fun to see some snow as long as you don't have anywhere you have to go. But we all miss it. It's really odd. I'm sure there's some global warming to it, but it's not all global warming. Weather goes in patterns, and sometimes they go in 100-year patterns. And like I said, the weather's they've only been keeping track of the weather since 1880. So who knows? Maybe every 200 years there's a winter like this. We don't know. There's nothing to panic about. I mean, there is. I totally believe in global warming, but sometimes you get a very mild winter, and sometimes you get clobbered. It's just weird that places in California are getting clobbered where they don't usually see snow. So that's probably a global warming thing. But again, if you've only kept records since the 1800s, then how do you know?
Well, we're going to have freezing rain in Texas. So.
See, that's weird, right?
Yeah.
It's just, it's like the only way you can know about weather-related incidents pre-1888 is in like the Bible. So we know at one point everybody got flooded, and Noah had to, whatever that situation was with the ark. So let's assume that that's semi-real somehow, not maybe with the animals, but somebody built something because he knew there was a flood coming. I'm sure we can take from that a little bit that there was a flood, that it did rain a lot, and maybe there was a tsunami and stuff. That's what we have to take. We have to pick and choose from the Bible, weather-related events. Read about the horrible weather in Texas today, Mike?
Yeah, it started on Monday.
What's bad about it?
It's a winter storm.
Oh.
So, but the freezing rain. That's really all it is.
Apparently it's going to be 4 degrees this weekend. I know because I'm hanging out with these girls from my office. We're having a book club night, me and the girls. There's no other boys. And they said, just bundle up. It's going to be 4 degrees. And I have to go to Brooklyn, like where this girl lives. There's like no train, I think. I know there is a train, but it's like you got to walk really far. But I'm actually kind of into the cold because it hasn't been cold for a while. And I bought this really beautiful new jacket that should be keeping me warm, I guess. Also, I don't know whether you heard, but everybody's pissed at the Empire State Building here in the city because they lit up the Empire State Building in Eagles green. That's Philadelphia Eagles green and white. You heard about that, Mike?
No.
Yeah. After the Eagles won the championship and headed to the Super Bowl, the Empire State Building lit the arch enemies of the New York Giants in green and white colors. And people were furious. I mean, furious. It was a complete screw you to any Giants fans out of New York City. It's really rude. However, after the Kansas City Chiefs won, they also lit it in red. So obviously somebody made a deal with the Empire State Building and, they just, whatever team won. But it's kind of uncool to do that in New York.
Yeah.
It's not very, I don't care. I think it's funny because as long as it doesn't happen with the Jets, like as long as they didn't do it with the Patriots one, that's fine. So since it doesn't affect me, but it is pretty uncool to do to everybody here. It's very uncool. It's like what Marcia had to deal with this past week, where everybody had all in on the Bills because of that guy, but you're in Cincinnati and you're like, all right, enough of this. Everybody's like, go Bills. My mother's from Philadelphia. Go Eagles. Well, that's fine. Just the Giants hate the Eagles, they hate the Cowboys, and they hate the Commanders. And apparently,
I think all kind of go screw themselves. Honestly, I think is how New York thinks.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that division is,
yeah.
I mean, think about that division. You think about the way that the NFL restructured itself, right?
Uh-huh.
So a couple of years ago, they restructured where a lot of the geographically people are closer together. So obviously the North is Minnesota and Green Bay and Chicago and whatever. What's that?
I hit my microphone by accident.
Oh, okay. And that all makes sense. I thought you were playing a little tune on the piano or something. So I was like, that sounds great. Let's do it. So they fixed it geographically. The only thing they didn't fix was the Eastern Division because there's no way they weren't going to have the Cowboys play the Giants, the Eagles, and the Commanders. So it makes no sense for Dallas to ever play any of these 3 East Coast teams. The division should be New York, Philadelphia, Washington, and North Carolina, and then the Panthers. That should technically be the NFC Eastern Division. But they were not going to sacrifice that, unbelievable rivalry. Be like taking away the Yankees Red Sox, and moving it around. Like because they always talk about restructuring, and I'm fascinated by it. Absolutely fascinated by it. I don't know. Nobody wants to hear about this. Let's move on to some of the other stuff that's in the news today. Mike, picture number 1. I don't know if you heard about this today. There's a police officer. Her name is Megan Hall. She's on the left. She slept with all of those guys. She slept with or blew all of these police officers, and nobody would care except that the police officers are all fighting over her, and she's been doing it on the job. So therein lies the issue. She's getting divorced and she just went a little crazy, but she slept with everybody in her office, which is exactly the premise of Silver Linings Playbook, which is a movie. Jennifer Lawrence's husband dies and she sleeps with everybody in her office and gets this reputation. But again, wouldn't be a problem if she didn't do it during business hours. Then nobody cared. But one guy, said, I'm going to kill myself. So they're all infighting. And that's what happens when you let a chick join the force. Am I right? Come on. But, and speaking of hot chicks, the next one, Mike, Justin Verlander, see, it's working already. Bless this guy for bringing him and his wife to New York. They just had the Cy Young Award, the Baseball Writers Association dinner the other night, and she just went for it and just totally dressed up. This is his third Cy Young Award, so you would think like, we don't care anymore. But no, look at her. Look at her. That's fantastic. It's like nobody can compete. It's ridiculous. She looks completely out of place. So I'm loving that. Picture number 3 is just pissing me off to no end. I don't know if you heard about this. These horrible migrants, they're at this hotel and they won't go to where the mayor wants them to go in Brooklyn. So they're just hanging out outside. They're sleeping on the street and because they don't want to be moved. The reason I say horrible is because I understand this is right near my parking garage as usual. So once again, Dave Juskow is screwed by the system. Oh, it's driving me crazy. I haven't picked up my car since the incident yet, but Thursday, obviously, when I teach my class, I'm hoping I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on. I'm very confused of why this is a thing or why. I don't know how you complain when you come. I don't know how it works. I'm not bright about this, but I'm not sure how you complain when you're here illegally and, at least they're giving you someplace it's weird. They're not deporting you back. I don't know why you'd want to be on television. So that's all me because I don't understand. What I do understand is this affects Dave Juskow, and that is the issue. Certainly, I don't want any of these people to go in and live in the cold or in conditions that are, not cool. And it's nice that they're letting them stay in a hotel, even though they're moving them. But, nobody was prepared for this. So it's all weird. And it's kind of funny that they're protesting their conditions when they're not really supposed to be here. And we're doing the best we can. But again, try and just, don't hang around my garage, okay? Because I got to get my car out and I don't have time for this kind of nonsense. Thank you. And do you know who the next picture is, Mike? Do you know who this girl is?
I do not.
Well, this is the most charmed. This is who you want to be in your next life. This is Gracie Hunt. And it rhymes with no. And she is the daughter of the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh.
But it's not just that's wonderful. If you pull that off like Kate Mara or Rooney Mara, and your dad, not only are you nominated for an Oscar, you get to be in movies, but your dad also owns the Giants. Sweet magic, you've won the lottery in life, obviously. But this girl is also Miss Kansas. So, yeah, you wish anonymous. She looks terrific in there because she's Chiefs red, which is great too. But she's also Miss Kansas. That's not fair. She should at least be unattractive. And the best part is the Chiefs won the Lamar Hunt Trophy, which is what you get when you win the AFC Championship, as the Bengals got it last year. And that's named after her grandfather. So, yeah, that's winning the lifelong lottery. And she's the heir to the Chiefs. I mean, if her dad died, she might actually be able to take over running the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, she'll just trade it for shoes.
You what?
She'll just trade them for shoes.
Probably. I mean, look how great she looks. That is great. She looks. I mean, that's who you. She's doing it the right way. Hey, I'm hoping the Chiefs are going to win. I'm going to dress in Chiefs red. You like that? It's just like the Kate Upton I was talking about. I like when they all dress up and look good. And then the next picture is this idiot that just won another like Guinness World Record for fist pumping. I mean, who's keeping track of these records? Apparently, they go really fast for 30 seconds. 30 seconds, and that's some sort of record. I don't really understand it. Yeah, a week later, moving to KC now. Exactly. And Miss Kansas. I was just looking up. My friend is Miss New Jersey. She won in 2000. She's in my Cars movie. She is. She was Miss New Jersey. I was thinking about her when I thought about this, and I looked it up to make sure she really was Miss. She always told me she was Miss New Jersey, but I looked it up today, and she actually was Miss New Jersey. What? And she actually married Jay Glazer from, the NFL from Fox. Oh, really? Your cousin married a Miss New Jersey? That's so funny. What's better than that? Now, you know my wife. She was Miss New Jersey 2000.
What's better than that? I don't know. Probably a Miss California or something.
Well, whoever. A Miss anything is good. I'll take Miss Kansas any day. Miss Nebraska, Miss anybody. That is pretty exciting if you can pull that off. But not like, Miss Nebraska 1933.
I'd take that.
To at least win in the 2000s.
That's what you would want during the Depression.
Well, yes. Well, I'm saying now.
I think I could.
I don't know whether I'd want
to go to another one, so I would need those survival skills.
I don't know whether I'd want to say Lee Merriweather was my wife.
You had a nice June Lockhart.
June Lockhart was a Miss America?
I don't know, but she could have been back in those days.
Nah. I know what you're talking about.
Remember, Miss Nebraska easily.
Bess Meyerson was, I think she was a Miss America, and she used to be a big New York City staple. I feel like Phyllis George was too, and then she went into sports. I was talking about her on my podcast the other day because she's one of the first women in like sports commentating. It's pretty cool.
Huh.
All right. Oh yes, I have to do the slides today, right? I wasn't ready because I forgot. I haven't had to work it in a long time. I've been leaving it up to you, right?
Yeah.
The only Jewish Miss America Anonymous. That's right. Bess Meyerson. That's right. Oh, I bet Colombian coffee is great. Now that should help my bowels. Oh, sorry. That was supposed to be private. All right. Let's see. How do I do this? Is it present? Yeah. Share screen. And right here, I am sharing now. You see it?
Yes, sir.
Everybody ready for the slides today? All right. Bess Meyerson, Aunt Judy. What is that? Are you high? Bess Curson. There you go. Typing error. Because she's high as a kite. This was an outstanding, Roe versus Wade protest again in Wisconsin. Terrific. They're at the state capitol. All I'm saying is keep it indoors. Keep it indoors. As long as you're not outside, I love it. Love your protest. And I'm obviously totally for that protest as well, but keep it inside. Bring it to the Capitol. Don't do it on the streets. Dave, why do I have stomach issues, Catalina? It's a combination of everything I eat. It's not what I cook with. It's my diet, which is not good. For instance, today, I went to work. I looked at the menu. As you know, we get free food. And I told my coworker, she said, what's on the menu today? And I said, diarrhea, because it was a bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich and then tacos for lunch. And then when I came home, I proved that was the actual menu. Where was I? That's right. I'm moving the slides. Let's move on. I think I'm going to talk about this on the podcast this week. Guys, I'm going to turn you on to this. I don't know whether I'm crazy. I don't think I am. This guy, his name is Clyde Lawrence. And I don't think anybody's ever heard of him because I just asked these 26-year-olds in my office, and they didn't know it. So this guy is a band called Lawrence. And let me know if anybody in the chat room's ever heard of him. And what this guy is doing is he's talking in Washington, D.C., because they're having Live Nation hearings because they feel like Live Nation, that ticket play, because of the Taylor Swift situation, they feel that they have a monopoly on concerts and stuff like that. And they're saying, what are we going to do about that? But gosh, those kind of things have had monopoly over the music business for years. Ticketmaster, all those kind of things. This is just the latest one. That's the one. I mean, I've gotten paid from Live Nation because they handle comedy events. So maybe there is something to it because nobody wants any of those big things. But yeah, it's all that Taylor Swift nonsense. And then they came out. So this guy is testifying, and he's just nobody knows about them yet. This band, Lawrence. Okay. So I looked them up. Their last name is Lawrence. And I am I can't stop. I'm enamored with them. I'm going to a rabbit hole. They're young. It's him and his sister Gracie and Clyde Lawrence. Mm-hmm. And when you hear them sing, you'll be like, what? So I just started watching this video of one of their songs from 2 years ago called "It's Not All About You." They make really fun videos. She's always dressed kind of sexy, like shorts and stuff, which I like. But they're brother and sister, like the Carpenters, and their voices are spectacular. They're completely musically talented. This is one of the videos I was telling you. She usually like fronts the videos, and that's her brother in the back, and I think he writes the songs. But I've seen them do a cappella stuff and stuff. They're really talented. This girl has some singing voice, and she's really fun, and I'm totally involved. I love them, and I don't think a lot of people know. But then I found out that their father is a big director, and he directed and wrote like music and lyrics. That Hugh Grant, Drew Barrymore one that Adam Schlesinger did and stuff. So now I'm just jealous again that that was their easy way into the business. But still, they're very talented on their own, and you gotta watch some of their videos. They're really great. I think you're gonna like them too. No, she's not mad a week late. She's not mad. It's part of the video. She was on a bad date with this guy that incessantly talking. I played that guy, so that's why I know. But Lawrence, check it out. You tell me what you think, and I think you'll like it too. I'm all in lately. This is in Antarctica. It's a big iceberg breaking off, but they say it has nothing to do with global warming. I'm not sure how that can be. But speaking of global warming, this was in California the other day. That's a Carl's Jr. just blanketed in snow in Mammoth Lakes, California. Just stuff I don't think you see in California. And this is in Germany. It's like this one side is covered in snow, and this left side is like the whole thing never happened. Everything is nuts. I like weather-related stuff. And here we are at Fashion Week again in Paris. I mean, one day I'd like to go because I would be laughing so hard. This is it's what it's called, Victor and Rolf. And this is their upside down gown. I mean, for what purpose? What are we doing? But at least they had a consistency to what they were doing. No, Anonymous, she's not ghosting because I actually spoke to her yesterday. So she's just around. Sometimes she's just quiet. She's back in our lives again. Jenny Cohn Sanchez, I'm talking about. Look. I mean, this woman has to feel like a moron. You want me to wear what? You understand? Like people pay millions of dollars to see my face, right? Like I want everybody to see my face. Hello. He probably put her in something else, I'm sure, but yeah, maybe she has a pimple. And this is the sideways dress. Come on. What is happening? Mike, what is the point of this? Who's wearing this? to the Oscars. I mean, who's wearing this to the Oscars? Please.
It's like a Lewis Carroll poem.
Right. I mean, the sideways dress, the broom. What? How does that even go on? What is the point? You can't present an Oscar with anybody next to you. Do they have to iron the dress? That's an excellent point. Yeah, they've run out of ideas, Carlo, right? And nice to see you. Here's my favorite one. This one just walks by itself. The ghost dress. What?
Well, that one's fun.
Yeah, no, that one's kind of good. It's just, what is happening? Why? Why? And here are the guys that created it. Victor and Rolf. They created these dresses.
Slouchy and paunchy.
Say again?
Slouchy and paunchy.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Put your back up and stand up straight. You're taking a bow. People are clapping. For what? I have no, they're geniuses.
Yeah, I know.
Geniuses.
They're dumb dresses.
Well, they look exactly like I thought they would because they remind me of this guy from Seinfeld. And we all remember what he created, the Elaine. Oh, do you also read the TV guide? Oh, do you like the guide? Right, ghost dress like Jenny Cone Sanchez. And there's Kylie Jenner and her dress to the Paris fashion show. Mike, you know what I'm showing next, right?
Yes.
Say it.
No, just show it.
What?
Just show it. Can't stop giggling.
Say what it is. I want to know we're on the same page.
I can't stop giggling.
I'm not changing it until somebody in the chat room knows exactly what I'm showing next.
I thought you were going to show the Cowardly Lion, but
no.
Oh, I don't know then.
Who else dresses like that?
I'm blanking right now. I know it, but I'm blanking right now.
Where have you seen somebody use a lion wrap, a full lion's head as a wrap?
Oh, like Coming to America.
That's right. You got that right. I knew you were going to get it.
Yes.
I waited because I knew you were going to get it. I knew you were going to get it. There's no way you can look at that and not think of King Joffrey's.
That's true.
Joffrey, ruler of Zamunda. My son works. That's when they're in the barbershop. Man, seat number 2 will be ready in a second. Who's going to clean up all them flowers? I was at this. I did a TV show at this black barbershop a couple of years ago, and I said, "Hey, let me. I'm going to bring in some rose petals so we can throw them around and be like." And then you guys go, "We're going to clean up all the flowers," and they loved it. Thank God they got it. I was so happy. How could you not? This is the Chinese 1,000-hand dancers in Indonesia, which looks amazing. And then Beyonce ripped it off while she was in Dubai.
Huh.
And she was playing this new swanky hotel in Dubai that I'm not allowed to go to because of my religious beliefs. I'd really like to go there too. That's the worst part. I'd like to go to Dubai, but I just get the feeling I won't be able to get back. They're going to stop me at the airport. And speaking of chicks and hands, this is Brazil. This is a Brazil soccer match. And all that was let in was women and children under the age of 12 because the men started some fights, I guess, the week before. So they only let women in. Which is so hot. I would try and sneak in there, I think. But look how into it they are. You just don't look how it's packed with only women.
Who did all the parallel parking?
Hey-o! Nobody got killed at that match. I don't think there were any incidents. And but it's amazing because I wonder if you did that in football, would you be able to fill the stadium if you just said women are coming? I mean, that's how rabid they are for soccer. Even the women are in,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know Marcy would be there, but who else? It's an interesting question. I wonder if the women would go just to spite the men or whether they'd go because they really want to go. And I know for a fact you could not do it at a Jets game. I mean, maybe you could make a case for the Cowboys or, a team like or the Giants, but that would never that would never happen with the Jets. It would be there'd be like 10 women. I've never seen a woman at a Jets game. Well, once. My friend Phaedra went, and it was great. But otherwise, women don't like the Jets. They like the Giants. That's why I had to change and go to those tailgates. This is a woman also in Brazil who's doing a tightrope thing,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just standing there. It's 375 feet. It was in meters, and I had to figure it out. And she's gorgeous, and she is just sitting there. And I say to myself, now that's impressive, because most of you know, if you've listened to my podcast over the years, that I hate this douchebag, Nick Wallenda. I hate this guy so much. I am praying for him to fall. And the reason why I hate him, now, first of all, let me just show you. First of all, he's carrying a huge stick. This woman's got nothing. And then this one, where he goes over a live volcano, this douchebag, he's got a goddamn harness. So he sucks. This woman is totally free falling. But the reason he sucks, if you don't know, is that when he does these things live, he makes a lot of money for him. All he says is, what he's walking across is, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for this beautiful situation, Jesus. Jesus, I know he just keeps talking about Jesus. And I couldn't care less if he talks about Jesus. But if you're thanking Jesus to pull off a fucking daredevil stunt, and you're thanking Jesus for you not dying because you're doing this ridiculous thing, then you are a selfish prick, because Jesus needs to help a lot of other people in need. You dumb fuck. Hate that guy. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much. I love you, Jesus. It's like a football player said, I'd like to thank Jesus, because Jesus totally wanted Kansas City to win. That's why Jesus hates the Bengals. I don't know whether you guys know, but you know what I'm saying. Jesus. Yes. What? Judas, would you like a beverage? Jesus. Yeah, it just bothers me when they take advantage of what Jesus is supposed to represent. Catalina's like, I can't parallel park, but I can drive. Well, you see, Catalina, you shouldn't be able to drive. So you have to learn how to parallel park. Unless you're in Clueless, where she says, why do I have to learn that? Everywhere you go has valet. I'm going to say that's probably not the case in Chile. Meanwhile, my sister and I went to go visit my mother Thursday, and my sister had to valet park because there was an event at the old age home. It's ridiculous. Jesus loves football but missed the Holocaust. Exactly, Anonymous. Exactly. He loves football and obviously rap music when they win an award, but he hates the Holocaust. This is in Spain. I can't even pronounce what this guy is in costume, but he is a cattle. It's supposed to be like a mythical cattle thief from, I guess, the Bible. And he comes out and they throw turnips at him. And that's the whole day. I can't wait till he comes out and they throw turnips at him. I don't know who wins to be in that costume. I kind of want the job because it would be really funny, but it reminded me of, and nobody will get this, but it reminds me of Eric Stoltz in Say Anything when he dresses in that chicken outfit at that high school party and everybody just jumps on top of him. And he's like, I don't know why I do this every year. Why am I screaming? But he is the coolest guy. I Throw this party every year. And this is some protesters. Everybody loves protesting. I don't know where they got time. And they're coming from Bolivia and going to Peru to protest. Now, I don't know what the fuck this is, but you tell me if I'm crazy and it doesn't look like Witchy Poo's boat from HR Puffin stuff. Here's a better. Tell me if I'm crazy. That's exactly what that is. But the boat began to a kooky old witch whose flute she was going to snitch. I mean, I love that boat, except when it turns evil. Fun fact, Eric Stoltz filmed almost half of Back to the Future before. Everybody knows that a week late. That's common knowledge. And they have the footage lately. They've been coming up with a lot more of it. Yeah, you always felt bad for that. And the whole crew had to, the whole cast had to film like half the movie again. But Eric Stoltz, thank God. I mean, I would have felt horrible for him, but he made a good career for himself, thank goodness. Because that had to have been devastating. But what happened was, if you don't know, and thank you a week late, I love talking about it, obviously. And of course, you have your Back to the Future logo, so you love it as much as I do. He just wasn't working. Spielberg said to Zemeckis, he goes, I don't think this is working. He's not getting the comedy. It's too dark. And so then they got the awesome Michael J. Fox. Oh, meanwhile, that guy from Lawrence, the kids, I was wondering, I thought I saw the kid wearing a Family Ties jacket in one of the videos. And I'm like, what the fuck? Since I'm the only one that seems to remember that show, his dad used to write on that show.
Oh.
These kids are so lucky. Yeah, he wasn't funny enough a week later. Well, the funny thing is he is funny. He just didn't get how funny. He didn't get it. And Michael J. Fox was just so ridiculously perfect. Some of it, just sometimes when he even looks, remember, even just the look of when his mom starts to, or when his mom tries to kiss him, even those looks were amazing. So, yeah, my idol, Alex P. Keaton, you got that right. Oh, I guess you heard about this today. Maybe you didn't.
Yeah, Cindy
Williams died. Ironically, this picture is taken from when Penny Marshall died.
Oh, wow.
They're both dead. And both died about the same age. And I don't know. The weird part is I mean, this Cindy Williams, she we always forget she did other stuff. She was really close with Ron Howard. He tweeted a bunch today because remember they started in American Graffiti. She taught him how to kiss in American Graffiti, which is hot.
He taught her how to love.
That's right. Just like Sam Elliott. He can take on 8 guys at the same time and still teach a woman how to love. That's what David Tell used to say. So they were in that together. And then, of course, they did Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley together. And they also made another movie together. So they were very close. And I think they remained friends forever. The mother of the actor that played his little brother on Family Ties. The mother, you're talking about Brian Boswell. It was Brian Bonson, the kid who played Andrew, the little brother. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the thing is that last week I was watching The Conversation that she's in and kind of plays the villain in it's like a political drama with Gene Hackman, directed and written by Francis Ford Coppola. It was a little movie that was made in between Godfather 1 and 2 when Francis Ford Coppola could do passion projects. And yeah, she's in that. I was just watching it the other day and I always she's really good in this. Like, it's weird. You just can't think of her in anything else. No, it's not The Manchurian. It's called The Conversation. And here she is with Gene Hackman. He's surveillancing her and him. So, but she got to work with Gene Hackman and Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas, who liked her so much, He had her audition for goddamn Princess Leia in Star Wars. That's her audition tape. I mean, she could have been Princess Leia. And no matter how that went, Princess Leia would be dead either way. So there was no way to win and have a Princess Leia make it into their 80s, apparently. Thank you, Cammy. Cammy said I'm handsome, so I said thank you.
So is everyone passed but Michael McKean?
There it is. Everyone but Michael McKean. We'll go around this way. Dead, 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 dead. Still alive, must be terrified. Coming for you. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, okay, these two, you're saying, well, they were probably, well, what we've found is when you get older, you find that people aren't as old as you think they are when you're little.
Yeah, aren't they?
So these guys might be right. These guys might be my age now. Like, they might be in their 50s. But let's assume they were a lot older.
Oh no, he was born in 1913. Phil Foster.
Oh, right, 1913. So yeah, he's been dead probably for a while, and but Squiggy died pretty recently. Eddie Mecca totally died just recently.
2021.
Laverne died 4 years ago. She died yesterday. So yeah, they all died. Besides these two, they all died recently. She probably lasted a little longer. This is Babish. There's a new Jew. Yeah. Jeff, what is that? Jeff Regal. I just saw a Yiddish saying explains that a schlemiel is somebody who often spills his soup, and a schlemazel is the person it lands on. Jeff, that's awesome. Anonymous is like, there's a new guy in the chat room who knows Yiddish. That is exciting. If that's true, that's amazing. Everybody's always wondering what that is.
Betty Garrett died in 2011, was born in 1919.
2011. So she lasted. When did Phil Foster die?
Let me find out. She was 91. He probably died at 64. I'm double checking right now, though. He died in 85.
Oh,
I don't think he lasted before the show ended. So.
You might be right.
He was 72.
So I actually got to, I don't know whether you guys know, but before Penny Marshall died, I got to have a nice chat with her out in the streets in the city. Yeah, Squiggy's dead a week late. We had a nice talk, me and Penny Marshall, and we talked about a bunch of stuff, and she was a delight. It was great. It was awesome talking to her. And one of my friends who just recently died actually slept with her, and then got into a fight over with Art Garfunkel over who was they were both sleeping with her. What? That's a story for another time. So yeah, everybody's dead. Who the fuck is this? This is a season 2 photo. So who's this?
Checking. I remember her from reruns, but I don't remember her name.
Well, I don't remember her in the show. I think she was called, like, I looked it up. I think she was called Big Rosie, but when I saw her face, I'm like, whoa, what? Carol O'Connor was 47, first season of All in the Family. That's interesting. Was Penny directing him what to do the entire time? Anyway, this is what she looks like now. Oh,
yeah, she's still alive.
Big Rosie.
Yeah.
But I don't remember her on the show at all. Do you?
I remember from her, you pulled that up. I remember her. But I don't.
No, the weird part is a week late. They're not Jewish. They were Italian. Gary Marshall was not Jewish. I believe he was Italian, right? Or what? Do I have that wrong?
I didn't know. I'll find out.
He was Jewish. I think he's definitely not. I'm going to say he's Italian, and he's definitely Italian. So I don't know whether there were any Jews in that cast, unless I'm wrong about Gary Marshall.
Says he wasn't. He was Presbyterian.
Yeah. That's the weird part. They seem like they should be Jewish. There's nothing about Gary Marshall that screams Italian or Penny Marshall, including their last name. But yeah, they were Italian. So no Jews here, which is odd for Hollywood. Meanwhile, as you know, Laverne and Shirley was a spinoff of Happy Days, and they switched off sometimes, during Sweeps Week, of course. And Carol Ida White played Big Rosie Greenbaum. Maybe she was the only Jew, although her last name is White, so I guess not. My Bob only knew my age when I got Social Security. Oh, Aunt Judy's saying that, right? Right. Aunt Judy's always kept her age a secret. That's true. But here's the Happy Days cast, and we're seeing who's dead from there, and most of them are still alive. Pat Morita died strangely. Al Morelli, he's dead. Tom Bosley died. Marion Ross is still alive. Everybody else is still alive except Joni and this little poor girl.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? This makes sense. This is a tragedy. But what? How can the little girl in the middle be the one that's dead? And Joni. Meanwhile, who the fuck is this? Right?
I remember from the last season.
You do? Well, I found out who it was, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
it's Crystal Bernard, the one from Wings. Just didn't look like her there, and I don't remember the final season, I guess. Of course, I remember Jenny Piccolo.
Yeah, the final season stinks.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah, finally get to like a
all
daughter.
Joni lost her wallet, or somebody needs a haircut. It's all stupid stuff.
Henry Winkler is a miracle in Barry. You're absolutely right. Henry Winkler is the best. Anyway, think about this. So, you want to guess whose favorite show was Happy Days, and he actually went to the set, and I've never seen this photo before. It's the biggest star ever.
Elvis. I don't know.
Like ever. What?
I said Elvis, but he was already dead.
No, you're right there. It's fucking John Lennon.
That makes sense.
He brought his son Julian to the set of Happy Days. What? I'd give anything for this guy to still be alive, as I think a lot of us would, because whatever he was going to do, I mean, I think he enjoyed just doing messed up stuff that was just going to piss people off. Like, what do you mean he likes Happy Days? He can't like Happy Days.
He liked Happy Days and punching his son's mother. So.
He liked Happy Days, and he liked Uncle Floyd. That's a local thing, and I've been talking about it on the Billy Joel podcast, this show, Uncle Floyd, that was just on this UHF station, and him and David Bowie and Iggy Pop would get high and watch goddamn Uncle Floyd, and it's the funniest thing. Attell and I we almost did a documentary on this guy. We went to go see him play, still alive. His brother was the lead, was in the Conan's old late night band, Jimmy Vivino. But Uncle Floyd was Floyd Vivino, and he just used to have this little show that I remember as a kid growing up on UHF, and John Lennon loved that too. So he definitely had a very interesting sense of humor, and we knew that, though. He was way awesome. And I also I'll tell you another time. And I think this is the last one, and I don't know whether Catalina's back, because I know she had to work, but these are fireflies in Chile. So anytime I see a picture of Chile, I always do it, but I think it looks like Catalina's not on break anymore. At her liquor store. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. See, that's Oogie. And so David Bowie wrote this song called Slip Away, and he goes, Oogie does the show, and Bones Boy. It's the best. It's called Slip Away. If you listen to it, you won't even believe your ears that he does a song about this guy, Uncle Floyd. Catalina, did you see the one? What's up with those fireflies? Do you ever get to see? Are they as pretty as we just showed? Is that the story? Catalina. Anyway, I guess that's those are the slides. Somebody come to service Friday wearing a mask. The guy said, "Oh, I don't know what we're talking about now. I guess we're not talking about John Lennon." I was just thinking that's sadder than Sidney Williams. I've just seen him. I was when I was in college, I did a show with John Waite. I don't know if anybody remembers him from the Babies, and then from that super group with the guys from Journey, Bad English, and he had that song "Missing You," and I got him. We were doing a show together, and I was with his band in the limo, and they had just. This was in 1984, so they had just worked with John Lennon on his last album, the one from Nobody Told Me, and they were telling me about working in the studio with him and how happy he was during that time. And yeah, I ain't missing you at all, Mars. That's right. Cammy hates that song. Anonymous loves that song. I always like that song. Every time I think of you, I always catch my breath. And I'm still standing here, and you're miles away. And I wonder why you left. And there's a storm that's reaching through my frozen heart tonight. I'm seeing how long I can go. I hear your name in certain circles, and it always makes me smile. I don't know. I got pretty far. Anyway, yeah, that was but that what a cool story to hear about John Lennon, and of course it just makes you angry. And the fact no, right, they haven't let that guy go, but for some reason they let the guy that shot President Reagan go. He is no longer in prison. I don't know how you shoot a president, whether he lives or dies, and you do not spend life in prison. Makes no sense. So it's kind of weird. But and now but he's apparently not allowed to go to Jodie Foster's house because she's already said, I don't think I want this guy working around. Nah, he's not going to show up. No, don't worry. He told us he wouldn't. I could see how somebody would be in love with Jodie Foster. She's terrific. Love your shoes.
Wait, what year did he shoot Reagan?
I think 80.
So she was like still looking like a little kid at that
Well,
time.
no, I mean, yeah, I mean, she might have been in. I think we're about the same age, so yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess she'd be about 15. Yeah, I guess you're right. 15, 16, 17. Yeah, I don't know what I mean, she wasn't making the quality movie she was making now at that time. I mean, but if he was like me and watched her grow up, you can make a case for it. We'd seen Jodie Foster for years, not just on the Partridge Family and stuff like that, but then she was in that Tom Sawyer with Johnny Whitaker and was it Leo and Lions? She did 2 movies with Johnny Whitaker. I don't know why she doesn't throw him a bone anymore. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Hey,
and then,
Dave.
of course, she did Foxes.
Dave, shoot the president, Dave.
Come on.
Come on, Dave. Shoot the president for me.
Yeah, she's talking to me. Did you hear that too? Did you guys hear that? I should shoot the president. Oh, look how cute you are. Oh, right. And of course, she's in Bugsy Malone. And so she was doing so much. She's been around for such a long time. And it is. Oh, is that right, Cammie? So her birthday's in November. She's been around for such a long time, and it's a miracle, again, back then for a child actress to do as well as she did. There's like 3 back then. Now it's a little bit more normal, but back then, if you were a child actor, it just didn't work out. It's a goddamn miracle. Especially, and I love seeing her in Partridge Family episodes and stuff like that. And all you think about is like, wow, she's going to win 2 Oscars someday. That's unbelievable. Anyway, oh yeah, Little Man Tate. I like that too. Anonymous with Diane Wiest. Yeah, I enjoyed that too. She directed that one. Oh yeah, JWB. What is the temperature and why? We need to know that today. Anyway, that is our show for this week. Now, on Billy Joel A to Z this week, we have a song called 2,000 Years, which is most enjoyable. I have a male friend who always comments on women's calves. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know it was either. But it's
hey Dave.
Oh yeah. I mean, what?
No,
see, that's that. She's too much of a tomboy.
You shoot the president for me, yeah?
Yeah, she really worked it out, though. I don't even get turned on by that scene in The Accused, and you would think I would. Well, the first part, not the later part, but when she's being seductive. Anyway, so Billy Joel this week, 2,000 Years. And then we next week we're going to wrap up the River of Dreams album and then our interview with Sir Liberty DeVito, which is amazing. And that's it. Next week we will be virtual again, but the week after that on Valentine's Day we'll be in studio. And again, I always say we're going to get a guest, but I just kind of like the way we do it here. So sometimes I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, right? Unless Mike can recommend somebody or you guys recommend somebody that hasn't been on. I mean, I would always go with Molly Heckerling every day. So it's just a matter of calling. And I was like, when I get it together, it's like already Sunday. And I don't know. I've been working on preparing for my class. So I'm trying to put everything leads to Thursday. And then I get a break. I handed out my first assignment last week. Very exciting. Anyway, that is our show. Mike, where are you going to be this week?
This week I'll just be in San Antonio. I think it's supposed to have terrible weather, so I'm not going to be driving anywhere. But follow the Retrospective Promenade podcast. I forgot which movie we watched. This was coming out.
God damn it, Mike! That's like my favorite part of the show.
We have to watch Goodbye Lenin this week. So that's why it's from my head.
Goodbye Lenin? I don't know that one.
Yeah, I never heard of it either. It's a German movie.
I saw The Menu last week, and I saw Megan. I'm going to talk about it on Just Gal in the City, so listen to that. Yes, both strange movies, but I'm glad I saw them.
So don't forget to listen. That's what comes out this week. The King.
What?
The King. It was on Netflix with Charlemagne.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You sure you're not talking about the Queen?
No, it's The King. It's got Robert Pattinson and Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, Timothy Chalamet and Robert Pattinson. Hello. Well, that's going to be our friend Scotty's dream. He'll have something to say about that when we do our Oscar picks in March. Anyway, folks, Just Gal in the City and Billy Joel A to Z and Mike. What's the name of the podcast again?
Retrospective Promenade.
That's why I can never remember. It doesn't make any sense. Retrospective Promenade. Fine movie. Catalina. Wow. She knows. Catalina watches a lot of movies. She's interesting. Obviously, we know that already. Anyway, have a great week, everybody. And enjoy February starting tomorrow. And we will be back next week to regale you with amazing stories and pictures and just have all of our good time like we always do. We'll see you next week on the Comedy Cellar Nightly.